Hey, hi everyone. Welcome again to our quarterly series of AI Unplugged. With us today is the CEO and founder of Lendsqr. And we'll get to talk to him about AI in the lending space. And as usual, with me on this session is my colleague Eve, and my name is Itoha IT Iyala, and together we are the eBanqo team. So let's say hi to Mr. Adedeji Olowe. Hi, Deji.
Hi, Itoha. Good to meet you, Eve. Good to meet you as well.
Thank you for making our time for this session. We know your schedule is extremely busy, so we're very grateful. We hope not to keep you too long. So let's kick off. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, like something we don't know, and then what inspired the creation of Lendsqr, your journey from engineering to banking to where you are now, and then what is the vision shaping Lendsqr as a platform?
Thanks so much, Itoha, for that question. What is it about me that you don't know? Of course, I'm a very Raz Yoruba person. Like, I love speaking Yoruba every single time. If you guys could speak Yoruba, I would prefer to have this in Yoruba. But then, you know what? You guys are a global organization, so we're going to say it in English. My background is engineering. I pretend to love engineering. I have 2 degrees in engineering. But then I worked as a banker most of my life. I was in banking for about 16 years before they shipped me out, or I shipped myself out of banking. Then I tried to do investment for like 4 years. And then I've been doing Lendsqr full time for the past 4 years as well. So it's been kind of interesting for me. Like, I think the most defining thing for me has always been, I love solving problems, especially the ones I didn't create, right? So that's been my journey. But why did I set up Lendsqr? It's simple. When you are deep in engineering, you need to understand foundational problems. So when I look at Nigeria, I look at Africa, and I found out that one of the reasons why Africa never grew is because there is paucity of credit. But then it's easy to say, let people give out more loans. But you found out that giving out loans is not the challenge. It's will people get paid back. And why don't people pay back? There are no consequences. Now, you could start, you just like, look at Nigeria today, Dante has refinery, and you could say that he had to go beyond the extra to be able to make that refinery to be there. You could have built that refinery somewhere else. You could have built it even in Cameroon, right? And just be shipping that thing in. So it means that sometimes you have to solve hard problems. And for me, solving the hard problem was making the technology available for lenders to be able to lend and get their money back until we grow to a level of consequence that actually makes a whole lot of sense. Now, that is the thing that drove me. And when I was working as an investor, working in the Coronation Group, it's always easy to say, let me find somebody to invest in, that can do this. But the question is never going to be that way. If you are really serious about solving a problem, then sometimes you have to jump in and solve it yourself. I have a bias for agency and bias for action. I think that's what deceived me. It's been pretty hard. If I knew it was going to be this hard, I probably would have done it. But I'm happy that I didn't know it's going to be this hard.
Well, anyone who knows you knows that you like to take on all the difficult tasks. So I'm actually not surprised. All right, so this leads me to my next question.
But after this one, I'm done. I'll just go and retire. No, this time I mean it. This time I mean it. I want to go around the world and explore the world with my children. Let me do that when they are still children. All of them are becoming old right now. But in jokes apart, I love what I do. I feel I don't know if it's going to be successful or not. But I think that even being privileged to even attempt to solve the problem is a great honor. So let's go do it.
Cool. So this leads me to my next question. So Lendsqr in itself positions itself as a Shopify for lenders. Can you unpack what this means actually in practice?
Okay, so here's the thing. So most often I know when we see successful businesses, or we have idea of what a successful business will be, we sometimes underestimate what it takes, right, to do that thing. So for example, if you want to be, let's say Shopify, for example, let's say, like I mentioned, if you want to be selling apples online, right, Itoha wants to be selling peanuts online, for example, whatever it is. Seems easy, right? But then, I need to have a website. I've got to design the website, or I've got to even find a designer to do the website. Also, a designer design the website. Somebody has got to brand it for me. You can see something as simple as even having the first website in itself has created a chain that we don't get to see if you are not in the thick of the game. Now, so for example, you guys are in eBanqo today, you provide all these chat services to companies. Nobody sees chat in front. You are the one that knows the magic and the pain it takes to make that available. Right? Same thing for Shopify. So if you went to Shopify today and I say, if you want to start selling apples online, and Shopify takes the pain away. So you sign up, right, to get a website. Shopify will say, choose a template. You choose a template, you like it, and then you start taking pictures. You take pictures. Now, even with AI now, you can even take a picture of something you have and just tell Gemini to remove the background and make it look interesting. And you put all those things there. Shopify allows you to accept payment anywhere in the world with Stripe. Stripe doesn't know you. You have no idea about Stripe. Nobody cares. Shopify even sometimes help you to do drop shipping, right? Drop shipping where you import it from China, and they can hold it in their own inventory and help you do delivery. Everything. So with enough capital to handle your own core products, you could become a global player in e-commerce in a short period. That's what Shopify does, and they do a fantastic job of it. Like, we absolutely love their model. Same thing for lending. Lending is even much more complex than Shopify. When we told ourselves, if somebody wanted to become a lender, what would they need? It's so freaking complex that if you want, when people do this, only companies that are well established with plenty of investors' money to employ a lot of people usually do this. But we've taken that pain away. You could sign up on Shopify today and be able to sell your first product in 30 minutes. You could sign up on Lendsqr today and you could book your first loan in like 15 minutes flat. Like, for real. Yeah, absolutely. Now, that is the whole idea. And we offer Lendsqr for shopping from an individual lender. So let's say you are just a lender, you just want to service maybe people in Canada, Nigerians in Canada who are just getting there, right? You could use that all the way to multinational. So for example, today we've got some lenders that are EU based operating in Africa on our platform. We've got individual lenders that is a man or woman that is running a business by herself, no staff, and then they are eating numbers. I've got a customer today that just has a very tiny team, maybe less than 5, and they've got over 600,000 customers. Yeah, because Lendsqr enables them to do all that completely, right? I've got some women that are not very, they're just focused on their business. They're doing amazing job, right? They are not even in Lagos, and they are pushing truck of loans every day. They've got like almost 100 branches. I've got a customer that has almost 300 branches. You can see the variation, right? That is what we mean as Shopify for lenders. Today, one single lender or one single e-commerce shop doesn't even compare to Amazon, but Shopify as a whole, the entire Shopify ecosystem, they're big. And today, I think they're worth like almost $200 billion on the Canadian Stock Exchange. They are one of the biggest, most valued company in Canada today. So that is what that means for us. And for us, it's more than just technology. It's even providing guidance. You'll be very surprised how much even most seasoned bankers don't even know about many of those things. Right? Those are the things we provide.
Sounds really impressive. Then, I particularly love the concept of, empowering, even if you're just thinking about the concept of lending and it's just, it's just a thought in your head. Basically, Lendsqr is just a place to go to kick off that concept. So I think that it's very laudable. Aside from the business part of making a lot of money, but it's a very laudable concept you have going there, Deji. So this leads me to my next question, and then which is also basically the foundation of what our segment is about. Do you believe that AI has a place in African lending today, or are we just forcing a narrative that's not yet grounded in our reality, or is it just a buzzword that we just want to lash on like the rest of the world, or we have AI?
Actually, AI has more place for credit in Africa than any other place, right? So because today when you want to take credit, there are fundamentals of credit, right? You talk about the 5 C's of credit, 7 C's of credit, but you know what? There are 2 critical C's of credit that are senior to all the other C's, right? Which is basically capacity and character, right? Capacity talk about the fact that when you take a loan, do you have the capacity to be able to pay back, no matter how good you are? If I gave you each one $1 billion loan today, right? Do you have the capacity to pay back? Possibly not right now. Right? Because even that money, you might not be able to even invest it. You are not at that scale. Same thing for me. No, that's capacity. It doesn't make you a bad person. That loan will ruin you straight on. Especially when they now tell you that the interest rate is 10% a year. As cheap as that, you have to find $100 million extra to pay back. Now, you can see that's capacity, right? So that's why sometimes when people come around and say, oh, I want a car loan. And let's say you want a car loan, the car is going to cost you maybe like $25,000, and then they are supposed to pay back over 4 years, but then maybe they are earning just about $45,000 a year. By the time you take tax where they live, you discover that they'll be so stretched, right? Maybe they pay rent or they have a mortgage. They don't have capacity. That means they won't be able to pay that loan, right? That's on one side. Then you also have what they call the character. Character is about, are you a good person? And are you the devil's cousin? Do you deceive people up and down? If, sorry, that guy that deceived you, the guy you're feeling, for example, shouldn't be giving you loan. Because even when they have the money, they will not pay back, right? Now, those 2 things require complex algorithm. Now, it's easy to deal with that in North America. If you're in Europe, if you're in North America, it's easy. You know fully well that if you're in North America today or in Europe, if you took loan and you don't pay back and it goes into your credit, you are screwed over. So you behave yourself. Same way, you don't drive drunk because you know that if you are caught, you're in trouble. Same way, you don't do a lot of very stupid things because you know you could get into trouble, right? Consequences. So in those places, right, forget about all those fancy algorithms. We know, even in North America, if your credit is being seen, you know, there's a 2 ways to check. They have the soft and the app checks in the US. Check don't show, add one shows. If you're even taking a loan, you are not even taking a loan, and people see that so many people are looking at your credit, it will even damage your credit. Like, why are you everywhere? Why are you shopping for credit? So people take this thing very seriously. So there's no need for AI for that, right? Or AI is just, it's no big deal. But then you come to Africa. The average person doesn't have a credit record, right? So if they don't have a credit record, if there is no simple statement, because today in the US, I could say, bring your statement for me. I want to see your statements of account or your financials, and I trust what I'm saying. If you're in Africa, if you demand for that, if they don't want to lie to you, they will tell you it's not easily available. If they want to lie to you, they will manufacture somewhere in Oluwole. Now, take a typical Nigerian or African lender.
You might want to interpret what Oluwole means for our audience that are not.
Oluwole means Oluwole. Let's just take it that way. Let audience go use the internet and say, what does Oluwole mean from a Nigerian context? This is adult education. So basically, a simple, maybe market woman, right? Who does maybe 50 million worth of sales, right? Taking cash, having all these small children, apprentices working with her. And she comes to you and say, oh, I need a 100 million loan to bring in things from China, from Turkey, from wherever. I say, go bring your statement. She probably doesn't have a statement. She probably can't even speak English very well. She's probably even scared of going to a bank. Things fall apart, right? So you find God-fearing people. Well, no, I shouldn't use that word. God-fearing people in Nigeria, in Africa are very scary. No, be fair, you meet good people, right? Who walk the straight and narrow. And most people in Africa are like, just that the few bad people make so much noise. And then they come around and they want data, they want loan, but you can't find easy way to process their loan. They don't have loan record, they don't have statements of account, they don't have internet banking, right? They use maybe OP or Money Point where it's not like my bank statement can get there. It becomes very difficult for them. And then what do? You either turn them away to say you don't have information about them, or you try to reduce your risk, right? By saying, I don't know who you are. Therefore, there is no excuse, sir. I'm going to pay my loan. It's not helping. So you just pack them in this crazy bucket of high interest rate, 10% per month, and everything goes crazy. And the truth is, lenders in Africa are really suffering. So we need alternative tools. We need alternative way of scoring credit, which is where AI comes in. So for example, there's a lady, Mercedes. Her name is Mercedes. She owns a startup in Colombia. She's doing something similar as well called Kipo, right? They are using your video. Same thing we're doing in Lendsqr, using video, voice, whatever we can grab to kind of run analytics and models to figure out whether you pay back or not. So Africa needs AI for credit more than any other place in the world. So it's not fluff. And we haven't even gotten it right. Even for Lendsqr, we are still working hard at it. It's not yet perfect. Like, it's not yet perfect to the level that will make it that can work at scale the way we want.
Okay, so this, I had a fourth question following this question, but you already answered me. So clearly, Lendsqr is already looking at AI as far as
we're working on that. We actually got a grant from Google and from the federal government to work on it, and we've been pounding that mortar with pestle for so long. But we're not giving up until we get it, because we know fully well that it's got to be done. And sometimes some things take long. I was just recently watching a video of how, you guys know LED, right?
Yeah.
Science background. It's a science background, right?
Yeah, science background.
You know that you can create light from 3 different colors.
Yes.
Red, blue, green, RGB.
Yeah.
So for a long time, it took over 20 years before they could find the blue LED. It was when the blue LED was found that everybody started having this flash screen and everything that could. Over 20 years. So what does that mean? It means that it might take a longer time to find a perfect solution that does AI for scoring credit, but we can't give up. We just have to die there. You know why? Because if you solve that problem, Africa will explode. Even governance will change. You know why? Because poor people tend to accept bad governance than middle class. But middle class can't develop if you don't have access to credit. So even lack of access to credit in itself is also affecting the emergence of good governance in Africa. So I assume, right? I don't know. There's no way to prove it. But let's imagine that it's true. But I suspect that those people are least likely. Yoruba people have this proverb that says, if there is hunger in your tummy, nothing sensible can enter inside. And hunger, people will sell, can be easily compromised if they are vulnerable. And poverty is a bitch. Let's take that.
Excuse your French. All right. So it's interesting that you pivoted the conversation, and then you even narrowed it down to Nigeria as an example. So this kind of helps me ask my next question. So from what you said already, we know that Lendsqr supports like quite a number of lenders today. What have you learned about the credit culture in Nigeria through your lens as a platform provider, and then how has it evolved since you have commenced Lendsqr up until now?
It's been a battle. So first and foremost, it's a wide west. So first and foremost, there are multiple layers to credit. There's consumer credit to everyday people. There is SME credit. Then there's commercial credit and stuff, and corporate credit, right? So when you go to consumer credit, of course, obviously, there's this thing that they used to share then in InterSwitch. Actually, it was something that was popularized by your founders, Charles Ifedi. We call it the pyramid, where you are bottom of the pyramid. So you also have people up and the rest of them. And doing consumer credit in Nigeria is wild west, because trust me, the average borrower today wants to cheat you, right? They don't want to pay back. They are nasty. But then, like I mentioned, lack of consequence means they get away. So even there are people learn from each other. So 3 of you are in the house. Adedeji, Eve, and Ito and Adedeji goes to take a loan. 50K, doesn't pay back, nothing happened. They knew, and he told the other guy, nothing will happen, it doesn't pay. The other guys too will probably try their luck, right? But if they need to take a loan and it does not pay back and thunder strikes in one way or the other, right? The other people will not try it. And that's a challenge we have. Now, in the bid to recover their loans back and be profitable, lenders now have to raise the interest rate. Because imagine you are a lender and you raise $1 billion from the market, right? And you give out loans. Let's say you took money from investors at 18%. So it means that you must pay back let's say it's even 20%, 1.2 billion. You give out 1 billion, knowing fully that that 1 billion, the interest on it must create additional 200 million for you to even break even. But remember, you didn't start lending because God was touching your heart. God doesn't touch any lender's heart. They all want money, right? So possibly at the end of the year, you want a return of like maybe 1.4 billion. But guess what? You took that 1 billion and you gave it as a loan. Even if 10% don't pay back, you remember at the beginning when you have 1.4 billion, let's say you want to pay 1.4 billion, your interest rate on your loan, right, on an average will be about 3.3% per month for you to be able to even get your money back. And it doesn't include any default. If 10% don't pay you back, look at how much interest rate you now need to charge for you to even make 9 million, right, to bring that money, right?
Yeah.
Now the default can be higher. The guys don't even taking money, right? That's exactly what's happening. But see the unfortunate part. If you also now increase your interest rates, there's something they call in credit, we call it the adverse selection. So you increase your interest rate to say, I know some of these guys are crazy people, they won't pay me back. Maybe 10% won't pay. So let me make the interest rate to be like about maybe 5%, right, a month. That will come to about 60% a year. Maybe when that money comes back, right, I will recoup my money. Because if you make it 4% per month, right, that will be 40%, roughly 50%. You get that 1.36 billion, something like that. 1.350 billion. That's what you get back. People start screaming, oh, you are charging 60% per year, 5% or 4% per month. This money is too much, right? You will now attract the kind of people who don't want to even pay back to start with. Because normal people say, this interest rate is too much. That phone is my phone. The screen is broken. I will use sellotape to hold the bottom. You will start attracting people that say, if you like, make it 1 billion, I don't go pay you, just give me the loan. So in credit, we call that adverse selection. It's such a very crazy thing. The higher your interest rate, the higher the propensity that people will not even pay you back. So it is, and this is what led to a lot of lenders to say, we're going to show people. It made some people to start doing evil. It forced people to go and start looking for extrajudicial way to get their money back. Because here's the thing, if you give 50,000 loan to Eve and she does not pay, you won't fly from Canada or from the US, from UK to drive your money, would you? No.
Yeah, true. I wouldn't do that.
If I were owing you 1 billion now, you will go anywhere. You will charter plane. It's just $7,000 per. It's just $7,000 per. You will find me wherever I'm hiding to collect your money. You use EFCC, NFIU, FBI, CIA, everything. You might even go to Benin and find people that can fly broom to get your money back. That is a risk that lenders are exposed to, and those are their realities, right? So the truth is, when you start looking at this problem using this, there's something we use in Lendsqr. We call it root cause analysis. We do it a lot, right? 5 whys, right? You just want to find out what causes this. In the end, everything still boils down to consequences, and that lack of consequence is what made people to do the same thing. Look, we're in Nigeria today. If you live abroad today and somebody assaults you, you report to the police, their life will be ruined. If somebody assaults you in Nigeria, there's a chance that they chance you. Therefore, if somebody grabs you or your phone in Nigeria, what do? You want to beat them up. If you're a thief and they catch you in Oshodi, you are roasted. Straight. That's the end of it. Jungle justice, because they know that there is no consequence if that guy is handed over, say, to the police. So those are the realities that make things to happen. So it's a lack of consequences that makes so many lenders to start doing bad things. But if the consequences could be, if it's possible to actually identify using AI those who are going to pay or not, interest rates will crash. Interest rate crashing means the market will expand. Why? Because lenders will be able to offer loans at a reasonable rate that reasonable people will take. Reasonable people don't take loans at unreasonable interest rates because they are reasonable enough to know that they don't have the capacity to be able to pay back at that rate. Because a loan with crazy interest rate can go very bad, very, very.
Thank you. So again, the direction of our discussion is just making me think about that. Regulators also have a role to play in all this drama, and I'm sure you would have had quite a lot of experience, over the years of managing Lendsqr. But still speaking from an AI perspective, do you think that the regulators themselves are ready for how AI is being introduced, especially in the lending space, especially using Nigeria as a case study?
For AI, regulators, no. Nice guys, but for the time being, advanced technology is beyond them, right? That's it. Yeah, but look, it's not their fault. It's just what they found themselves in, right? So when it comes to credit in Nigeria credit ecosystem is even so messed up compared to other countries. Because in other countries, the central bank is the one that regulates lending. In Nigeria, there are about central bank, 37 state entities, and one federal department does regulation for lending, primary licenses. And then now you have SCCP stepping in to clean up the mess after everybody. Because today, if you most lend, so you have those who are regulated by CBN, usually bank, finance houses, and MLPs. They don't have wala. CBN doesn't play with your books. If your books are bad, CBN will spank you. So many of them are saying, let us go for SME and corporate loans. And that's where they're staying, right? Because they don't have the energy. And I'm not going to lie to you, if I were a banker, I probably also won't have the energy for consumer loan. Because I could give, you have 100 billion. No, even just say 1 billion. You could give 1 billion is small money to give an emerging corporate, for example, right? It's how you work in the bank. So you could give 1 billion to them. But that is 10,000, 100,000 loans. So you could finish one loan, 1 billion credit. How long will it take? Even 1 week, you finish your credit, you've gone to risk committee, you've talked, disbursed the loan, you are following the man, you are doing collection. Let's say the guy is a trader, you put a POS in his shop, you are seeing how things are moving. That 1 billion is also 100,000 to 10,000 staff of some random companies. Who has time for all those things? Yeah, they will make you go mad, right? Because you now have tons of places to support them. But if the central bank is not allowing people to do that. Now for the state, the licenses are given by magistrate courts. There's even no national database to know whether somebody is real or not. For all you know, how do you even know if this license is even correct? Nobody even knows. That's the truth. Just that people do it because they have to do it. They don't report, they don't care about loan quality, and that's where FCP is coming in. So when you look at the Nigerian structure, only CBN is a bit techie, the rest are just in the gutters, right? Because they are handled by a magistrate court. FCP is coming in right now, we love that, and we want them to put that kind of discipline, maybe to bring some sort of, competence to the whole ecosystem. And then they can start using ML. But I still think machine learning, AI, it's still going to take a while for our regulators to get there. And to be very frank, they don't need to be there right now. They just need to saying, whatever tools or things you're doing, do it ethically, do it properly, and don't look for trouble. Okay.
Awesome. So we've been speaking a lot about credit space. Let's move just a little bit into the general, fintech space, right? So looking at fintech in general, do you think that the fintech players are actually innovating with AI, or AI is just a buzzword? Again, using Nigeria as a case study, or Africa as a case study.
I've answered you. Buzzword.
I heard you. I just.
Let's give you straight buzzword.
Why do you say so?
Because it's buzzword. It's apparent. We are not. There's nothing groundbreaking that anybody has done in that space that we say, oh, AI made this happen. I think the only one I've seen of recent is one guy, I'm looking for the guy, called Zara AI. It's a WhatsApp payment app. And then you could chat it and say, send money to it, or you could snap a picture of it, an account number, and just do that. It's pretty awesome, right? That's the only one person I've seen that have done something interesting. But beyond that, no, everybody's just kind of basic. One tree doesn't make a forest, and this guy is not a tree. This guy is some plants somewhere. So this is not a forest at all. Yeah.
Yeah, but just still thinking in that particular perspective, where would you think that would be if you look at your crystal ball, where would you think would be a nice place to start? Where would you, especially in the fintech space, where would you like to see some pretty crazy innovations coming out of Africa?
Very fun. We don't need that crazy. We just need useful, right? We need useful technology to fight fraud. We need useful technology to reduce the pain of using our services. Sincerely, I see strongly that people should use a lot of WhatsApp, because it's one thing that the poor people and the not sophisticated people know how to use very well. They know how to use it very well. I'm trying to imagine somebody who has, you're a bank or whatever, somebody could easily, for example, just say, transfer 50,000 to auntie, to her, something like that. Like even voice notes. And then the guys send back to you in your language to speak Hausa or whatever, Igbo, Chinese, whatever, and say, oh, are you sure you want to do it? And you say yes, and then it goes through. Because the people, those of us that are like sophisticated, we build many similar apps, we can figure ways out. But a lot of people are scared of tech, and they are too embarrassed to go tell people, or they don't have the patience. So here is that thing that can take away the friction of using technology, right, and take it out there. Yeah.
AI is that thing that can take away the friction of using tech.
Yeah.
I had to write that down as a quote.
Let me give you a good example. Look at the research that people do with ChatGPT or Perplexity today. You could have done that on Google, but you will search and search, structure and structure. You will read until your eyes fall out of the socket, and then you push back instead of taking what it, right? But today, you could actually just ask. Of course, yeah, right, but it probably even hallucinates than I hallucinate, because there are things I tell people right now. Was that true, or was I lying, or did I forget? Right? So because AI made that to happen, it could, for those who want to be effective, AI can actually be a significant advantage. So I strongly believe that AI can be so good for Africa and can really help people achieve and do a lot of interesting things.
Awesome. So we've gone to credit, we've gone to regulators, we've gone to credit space generally, we've visited the fintech space. Let's come back to Lendsqr. So what let me say it this way, what has been the hardest part of scaling Lendsqr?
People. People. Yeah.
You want to give us maybe some scenario examples of...
It's just hard to find competent people. Yeah. So Nigeria got 200 million people, and then Nigeria probably has another 100 million empty spaces to be filled. I've never found a company, except for a few companies that are misbehaving. Almost everybody I know is looking for one space or the other. I'm looking for one good guy, a good sales guy, a good marketing guy, a good product manager, a good engineer. So you have this very confused. Like Nigeria is like this contradiction. They say water everywhere, but there's no one to drink. So you got 200 million hungry people who don't have jobs. Unemployment is very high. And then you got these few people that have their businesses, can't even find people. And it's because our moral fabric is torn. Even everybody is entitled, and this is not a Gen Z thing. No, it's everybody thing. From artists to bricklayers to house helps to drivers, all the way to senior executives. Everybody's just so full of crap inside out. And I don't know why. No, hardly can you, because everybody just wants to do the barest minimum or even do nothing and get paid. And that is a challenge. I don't like, beyond the companies that I hear, every company that laying people off which are due to economic or maybe strategic mistakes, literally everybody is looking for someone to hire for something good. And they are so hard to find. Nigerians are not dumb. But the problem is that when people are so entitled, they won't even settle down to learn. So they are not going to be good for the job. when you take some people and you try to train them for like a couple of minutes, they only learn 1 out of 500 things you could teach them. They are off to the next place to go use that as a leverage. So people are my biggest challenge. Give me good people everywhere. I swear to God, Brenda,
it's interesting that you mentioned people, and I want to think about it from this perspective. So on a yearly basis, Nigerian universities are turning out graduates, and then you cited the examples of challenges having organizations having competency gaps or in their different spaces. But again, you look at the brain drain, Nigerians traveling outside the country, and then this same Nigerians, when they do travel outside and then they get similar position outside, they seem to thrive, to excel. Is it an environmental thing? Is it culture?
No, it's not environmental. It's not an environmental thing. So when you take 1 million Nigerians, right, maybe 5,000 would be very good, right? But those 5,000,
that's a very tiny number,
tend to be the ones that also have the propensity to run away. So what you see outside Nigeria are the best of Nigerians, and the more they go, the higher the concentration of horrible Nigerians that are remaining. So because the ones that leave, first and foremost, they are smart, right? They are self-aware. They want to do well for themselves. They put in the effort to get out. Look, not anybody that left Nigeria, it's never easy. You want to go to Canada, you have to do IELTS, you have to be smart, you have to have gone to school, do all your worst. There are 1,000 things you have to do that if you are not a serious person, you can't do it. You want to go to the UK, same thing. You want to go to the US, same thing. You want to get a scholarship, same thing. People don't get scholarship. Unserious people don't get scholarship. Now, so that's why they leave. So that's why when you come outside Nigeria, the Nigerians you see outside Nigeria are not real Nigerians. They represent the very best of us. The worst of us are back home. And the problem has nothing to do with university education. No. Because even in the university, what you are taught in university, even if you are well taught, is not what happens in real life.
Yeah.
So the education itself means nothing. It is our moral fabric, our value system that is torn. See, take someone today that didn't go to school at all. You could train them to become anything, right? You could train them because if they are responsible, if they have integrity, if they are trainable, teachable, they can learn. But if they don't have any of those things, even if they went to a Nigerian university, they will come out stupid because they won't also listen to their lecturers there. That's the truth. Today, the driver that didn't go to Nigerian university is trying to cheat you. The mechanic is trying to cheat you. Your tailor is trying to cheat you. Your mechanic is trying to cheat. Everybody is trying to cheat everybody. Everybody wants to move from 0 to 100 without doing anything. That's why you also see that Nigeria is supposed to be like a service industry. So Nigerians go out, but the ones that stay behind somehow can't hold down to any job on Fiverr or all those remote work. They cannot. They always throw them away very fast because they behave poorly every single time. And that moral fabric, sincerely, if I were the president, that is a real emergency, right, for Nigeria to face. How do we reorientate ourselves to become people who we have good attitude to let the best come out? Oh, and by the way, Nigerians, they are not dumb at all. They are actually using, when you see the intelligence they use to want to defraud you, you will know they are not smart, they are not dumb, but it's applied towards doing evil.
Okay, so again, I have this belief, and it's just my belief that I believe that the body language of government actually trickles down. And it's interesting that you said that our moral fabric is broken. We're having a very honest conversation. I'm going to ask. I'm actually going to put you on the hot spot. So, do you think that today it's the impact of all the government, or the body languages, all the government?
I don't think I know. Because so people tend to copy their leaders even when they don't know what they're doing. That's why leadership is extremely important. But the problem is that thing is like flying something to space, like a flywheel. Yeah. So a flywheel can spin by itself, Right now, we have a moral corruption and morality and mediocrity flywheel, which is just self-perpetuating. Bad followers provide with egg on good and bad leaders again and again, but something always kickstarts it, and something also has to stop it. So, if Nigeria is going to change, it can only happen with leadership, not followership, right? Something has to come from extra. There has to be some idiot who thinks he wants to make Nigeria a better place to make that change. And the guy has to do unholy things, crazy things, put his life at risk for him to be able to break that chain. And it's not going to be trivial. Because when we are going to be destroyed as well, it took that same process. Nigeria wasn't like this. But some people perpetuated this kind of mediocrity, and then it becomes whatever. And it's very simple. See, take for example, the issue of tardiness, poor quality. If I were the president, for example, and they hear that this president Deji shows up at event they invite him to on time, it's never late. Do you know what's going to happen? Within 6 months, every event in Nigeria will be on time. So president says, they tell the president, oh, we want to launch a new, come and launch my road. We're going to start at 10 a.m. President, you will cut at 10:15, and then you can blow off at 10:30. President shows up at 10 and nobody's there. Serious embarrassment, right? Does it again and again. Do you know what's going to happen? Everybody will just say, this man is a madman. He always show up. He doesn't even need to say anything. Just being there shows. When Obasanjo took over and started wearing native, that's when Tara had a resurgence, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a president today that is also prudent and talks about it, oh, you know what, guys, I'm the new president, I'm not going to spend the money anyhow. We have to be prudent. I'm going to use the former president's car, blah, blah, blah. How will the president say I'm going to be prudent and some idiots want to come and blow money online? They will just keep quiet. That's the truth. That is the way that flywheel can be broken, right? So now, of course, obviously, that's such a president, such a person will put their life at risk because there will be entrenched interest that may just want to kill him or do something bad to him because it will take food out of their mouth. All in, we need such a transformational leader to do. And it will take a long time for the reversal to be happened. It takes 10 years for a culture to take hold in perpetuity, right? So it means that the guy has to become president, do enough to win the second election, and then part of the people that also are part of him have to also follow up with it. So whether it's vice president or whatever, he can't do the normal Nigerian stupid government. He must have been grooming those guys from whatever to say, okay, 4 of you can be mine, will replace me, the best of you will take over. They start grooming the 4, they are competing against each other. That can continue on that journey. Without that, we are not going anywhere. But we'll get there one day, I don't know. Maybe one day, before I come very soon. Yeah.
Okay, so we've had Deji for quite a while. If I'm going to allow you ask Deji his last question, so let's hear your voice. His very, very last question.
All right, thank you. So it's been quite an interesting session so far. And Mr. Deji, for your last question, what is next for Lendsqr? Are there any new tools, expansions, or markets on the horizon that we should be watching and you are planning to engage?
Thanks so much, Eve. So basically for us at Lendsqr, right, we serve customers all over the world. We are currently in about 6 or 7 countries. We want to be in more countries, right? Especially in North America, where they have good money to pay for our services. And also that's also even led us to, we are doing a lot of refactoring right now. Things are not changing from, but we are improving a lot of our backend to make us more easier for us to grow and sustain our customers. So that's what we are doing. And I love what I do every day. I used to tell people this is what I was paid to do by myself, right? Because it's foundational, right? And so that's where we are. We want to develop a lot of interesting technology. We want to make our technology so simple a 13-year-old can use it without knowing anything. Meaning a 13-year-old, if you have a sister, can say, I want to lend money to Adam, and just come in there and just actually do it. That is basically what we want to do. That's what we have.
Right.
Wish you all good luck.
Thank you, Deji. Thank you for making our time. We know you're very busy. We appreciate this last 45 minutes you've spent with us. We hope that when we call you, we're constantly calling him, constantly call you from eBanqo. You are literally like our second sister company. So really, anytime we call you, please always give us a hit. Thank you for making our time.
Thanks so much, Ituan. Thanks so much, Eve.
Have a lovely rest of your day.
I will. Please enjoy your time as well. Bye.
Bye.